She had a guy come to the date with his mother. He's like, oh, I want you to meet my mom. Like,
it's a family affair. It's a family affair. That's beautiful.
Oh, I guess this guy, his mom found out that her little baby boy was going to have a date and took him shopping and got him an all new wardrobe and everything. And she was just like, what the fuck?
You're listening to the premier podcast for men who want to not only be better with women, but want to be better men in general. This is the Come On Man podcast. And here's your host, Paul Bauer.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another week of Come On Man. If you haven't done so already, please like, subscribe, hit those notifications. I say this every week. Y'all know what to do. Drop a comment. Any comment will do. Your favorite emoji. If you guys are watching on Monday during the premiere on YouTube, sound off in the live chat. You know, this isn't a live video, but it doesn't mean you can't sound off in the live chat. Sometimes I'm in there while I'm editing videos Monday morning. So say hello, you know, say what's up. That helps boost us in the algorithm as well. And if you are listening on your favorite audio platform of choice, please give us a 5-star review. It actually helps out more than you know. Follow me on social media. The links are in the description. I'm on all the good platforms. Get on the email list.comeonmanpod.com, and I will send you some free stickers for your troubles. If you guys like those designs, they're also available as merch as well. You can get these on coffee mugs and t-shirts and hats. This one is not available as a sticker, but it is available on t-shirts and hats and mugs. It says, girl, you know I'm a bad boy. Check out the Practical Law of Attraction course, loa.comeonmanpod.com. It's a mindset course. You know, once you get your mind right, everything else tends to fall into place. And then finally, check out the Patreon, patreon.com/comeonmanpod. You join for as little as $10. You get these episodes, Monday's episodes, ad-free. You can also get them a couple days early because I drop these on Friday afternoons before anybody else gets them. And you get them without this intro stuff, without all the commercials that you get on Spotify and Apple and YouTube. Right? You just get the interview portion, no ads. And you also now get to join me once a month for a monthly happy hour hangout. You know, just join a group of like-minded dudes, have some beers, have some whiskey, smoke some cigars, whatever. It's virtual. It's going to be over StreamYard, much like this. And you know, we can just talk about guy stuff. You know what I mean? Like whatever is on your mind. We talk about movies, cars, it doesn't matter. It's not formal. You don't have to worry about offending anybody. And there's no women. It's just dudes. You know, guys need a good group of like-minded guys that they can bounce ideas off of. You know what I mean? It's good for our mental health. Speaking of good brothers, good groups of dudes to talk to, Brother Jacob returns again this week. If you guys tuned in last week, we did the first half of our top 20 concepts from the book, How to Be a 3% Man by Corey Wayne, according to ChatGPT. And we were only able to get through about half of those last week. So we are continuing this week with the last half. If you guys enjoyed last week's episode, you're going to love this episode. So I will bring you that right after these words. And oh, you're asking about this? Yes. If you guys have been under a rock lately, you know that I am the undisputed world manosphere champion. This is the belt right here, baby. This is the real world championship right here. Right here, baby. All right. I will play a commercial for the monthly happy hour hangout, and then I will bring you that interview with Brother Jacob right after this. Are you tired of holding back your thoughts and opinions? Ready to let loose with like-minded men? Introducing the ultimate monthly video-based happy hour for men. Join us for an exclusive, unfiltered experience where you can talk about women, cars, movies, and anything else on your mind. Best of all, it's not recorded and there's no censorship. You can freely speak your mind without any worries. All you have to do is join my Patreon at tier number 1, and you'll gain access to this one-of-a-kind gathering. Visit patreon.com/comeonmanpod. That's patreon.com/comeonmanpod. Or click the link in the description. It's like the good old days when men would get together and talk about man stuff without being bothered by women. Sometimes guys just need a good group of men to hang out with. It's good for our mental health. Don't miss out on the camaraderie and conversation. Join us today and let your voice be heard. Visit my Patreon page and sign up now. Cheers to freedom of speech and great company. All right, coming back for another week. So this is your third time on the podcast, but we had to finish up what we were talking about last week because we didn't finish this list. We have 20 concepts from Corey Wayne's How to Be a 3% Man According to AI. We got through the first 10, went like I think an hour and a half with that. Hopefully we could get through this last 10 a little bit quicker this time. How are you doing, brother?
Fantastic, man. Fantastic. Just got home from saving the world, and it's beautiful to be back. Thank you for having me again.
You know what? The Joker and the Penguin, like they never stop. Like you put them in Arkham, they break out. It's always something with those guys.
They're incessant. It never ceases to amaze me. They're incessant. They never stop.
Speaking of never stopping, the work never stops. That's a concept from Corey Wayne's book, not according to AI though. All right, let's go ahead and kick this off here. So number 11, we did, like I said before, we did the first 10 last week. So we're going to start off with number 11 this week. Assertiveness, being able to stand up for oneself and one's needs. Would you say that's accurate?
Yeah, brother, you have to. I mean, it comes back to everything that we've talked about, everything that you bring up on the podcast. You need to be able to establish certain boundaries, but assertiveness is also very particular because it means you having kind of like the testicular fortitude to not only stand up for what's fair for you, but also for others, if that makes sense. So you have to be assertive in life, in romance, professional, work life, whatever it is. Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Yeah. One thing, well, so that goes back to number 1 from last week, which was masculine energy. And it says like the dominant, assertive, goal-oriented energy that men should embody to attract women. One thing too that, I really learned from that book and other books too, but Corey's book specifically, not just being assertive, but being decisive. Like having plans in mind and stuff like that, how important that is.
It's again, you're not always right, but you're never wrong, Paul. When you go after, when you set up a definite date, the last thing that a woman wants to do is for you to kind of throw it back in her lap. What do you want to do? Oh, I don't know. What do you? No. You always need to have at least 2 or 3 different places in mind. It doesn't have to be expensive. Make it fun. A lot of men, and me talking through and me talking to women throughout the years, I've realized that a lot of dudes don't know this concept. Like they'll just take her out. Yeah, they'll just take her out to dinner and drinks, and then after that, the date's over. No. Map a little circle. They should be around 2 to 3 places. You don't have to blow all your wad on that. Make sure it's nearby. If it's nearby, it's even better. Mm-hmm. And that's one thing that drives them crazy. Be mysterious, have fun. Whenever they ask you, hey, what are we gonna do? It's a surprise. Where are we going? Have you ever been to the moon? Great. And then take them there, and you'll see. I went wine tasting this past weekend with the friend with the MILF. I don't know if you got to see the Instagram and stuff, but it was there.
I didn't see the Instagram. I have to go check that out.
Yeah. If you get the chance, if not, I'll just send you clips and snippets. And she was taken aback. It was just a super fun weekend. She told me that she felt like she was in a movie. So
nice.
Have a plan. Yeah, have a plan. Stick to it, man.
Yeah. My go-to, like I would always on first dates, I'd always have my go-tos. And I also had my go-to secondary locations, like my first date, like it was only the first date for the other chicks. Like for me, I'd done that date a bunch of times.
Your 27th date there, right?
And it was like, if I liked her, I was taking her to the next place. And I knew exactly what I was doing. It was like I was running a playbook, and you do that so many times that like it just becomes second nature. And it also breeds confidence, like because you're like, oh, you don't have to think about it, like this just the only difference is the chick, like otherwise the whole date's basically the same. It's a good way to do it. Exactly. All right, number 12, according to AI, one of the 12th concept from Corey Wayne's How to Be a 3% Man is honesty, being truthful and straightforward in one's words and actions.
To a certain degree.
Mhm.
To a certain degree. You should always have integrity. You should always, be honest. But at the same time, you need to be careful with what you say, because what you say can get you in trouble.
You don't want to give too much away. Like what I'm thinking of, like when he talks about being truthful and straightforward in one's words and actions. I mean, he does say this a lot, right? Like he says in the book a couple of times, like, I'm a man of my word. You should know that by now. Right. So I think that might be where AI is getting that.
Uh-huh. Is that, yeah, no, because I mean, absolutely, if you set up a date, several days in advance, which you should, you're contacting the girl of your dreams, once, whatever, because remember, you're a busy man, you have a purpose, you're working on yourself, you're running a business, whatever it is. Yeah, you should tell them, hey, I haven't heard from you. If you set up a date on a Monday, hey, we're going to hang out on Saturday, and you let them be, 99.9% of the women that you date will text you the day of the date or before, hey, are we still on? Because the anxiety has gone through the roof. That's when you use the technique. You said, hey, I'm a man of my word, of course I'll see you at 7. Sometimes I've noticed that women will shit test, and sometimes women will try and get a rise at it. So be very careful with the truths that you say. Don't be blunt. Remember, there's different ways of conveying different emotions and kind of getting them to kind of form their own film and their own movie in their mind that's going to benefit you. At the same time, I've seen when men are way too honest, that has backfired. So, it's very important, but you should know the difference of when to be very, very honest and when to be blunt and how to use it to your advantage.
I think you can be an honest person, still be vague with your answers, be a mystery with, but just not give too much away. I mean, it's totally possible to do that. Let me ask you a question here. So you're talking about, you set up a date, like say on a Monday for a Saturday, and you don't contact her and she'll reach out. Like, I mean, that is a concept from the book. Corey talks about like not confirming dates. He's like, he says in the book, it's needy, weak behavior to confirm. Are you one that doesn't confirm? Because I actually disagree with that. I actually follow Dave Parada's confirm.
I've learned a couple techniques. Oftentimes I don't, because my line of work, I don't confirm anything. You know what I do, but I don't confirm it. Once you set something in stone, it's there. It has always worked to my advantage. So just like I told you earlier, they will reach out the day of or the day before. Hey, are we still on? Because the anxiety has gone through the roof. Oftentimes when I feel like the girl might be a little flaky, this is a technique I taught brother Nate, is you shoot him a text, mid-afternoon, be like, hey, I'm running about 20, 30 minutes late. Doesn't come off as needy. Doesn't come off as like, oh my God. And you'll see.
Oh my gosh.
Are you there? My apologies.
Yeah. All of a sudden you cut out there.
Yeah. I've had times where, I've gone out with women, or I've asked women on dates, and I'm like, maybe not. And I use that technique, and 50% will tell me, we're still on. Can't wait to see you. Great. See you. And some of them, oh, you know what? I completely forgot. It's not going to work. So you kind of just avoid a messy situation of you getting stood up. You don't come out as clingy. You don't come out as desperate. It's just the way.
Yeah, and that's sort of how the confirm works. Like the night before, you don't say, "Hey, are we still on for tomorrow night?" You say, I can't wait to see what you picked to wear for me tomorrow night," or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
And then that if they're going to flake, they were going to flake not because you're confirming. They were going to flake anyway. So that gives them an opportunity to flake, and then you don't waste your time. Like there's so many guys that they want to follow the book to the T, and that's fine. Sometimes it works great for some guys. Like, I'm not saying don't do that, but test it out for yourself, see what works best for you. But I've had guys that are like, they won't do the confirm stuff, and they just show up and they get stood up, because it's like these chicks are so goddamn flaky, It's crazy. And then in the further out you set that date, like the higher chance that she's going to flake tends to be. It seems
Exactly. And I've been stood up. I'm not here to boast about. No, of course I've been stood up, and it's hurtful. It's hurtful. It sucks. It's not fun. But instead of kind of moaning and bitching and feeling bad about yourself, go out and enjoy yourself. I actually encourage men to get stood up at least once or twice in their lives, because you have to grow comfortable with these weird, awful situations, because God forbid it happens again. You know how to handle it, and it's okay for you to feel bad. It's okay for you to feel disappointed, of course, naturally, but you'll learn over time that, unfortunately, just like you said, a lot of women are flaky. A lot of women are just looking for attention. They want a meal ticket, and you should be able to kind of spot that. Call an audible like a quarterback, and change the play, and just continue with your day.
Yeah. There's a lot of guys that say, go do something, pick a place or a venue or whatever where you would go there anyway by yourself, so that like if you do get stood up, you're like, whatever, like I would already be here, I'd already be doing this, that I could see that working. I like to do the confirm thing mainly because like 99% of all my dates were an hour commute, just to the venue. so that meant like a 2-hour round trip, and like I don't care how much fun the Feisty Pine is. It's not very fun when I got to do a 2-hour round trip to go to it. You know what I mean?
ETA is 2 hours. Yeah.
Yeah. So so I like it, the confirm like just was a better go-to option for me. So, all right, let's do number 14 here. We might actually get through these ones a lot quicker than we did the last round. Okay, number 14, leadership. Taking charge and being the one who makes decisions and takes action.
Yes. And I'll tell you, this is actually hilarious. The Colombian MILF this weekend told me that she loved me. We spent Friday through Sunday together. We went wine country.
The 7th or 8th date on average?
Yeah. I mean, we've been dating for about 3 months, about 2.5 months. No, it's in the book. It's like clockwork. She, of course, has her minions. She's got the Sims that are always liking her Instagram stories. I don't even look at her Instagram. She was asking me about that over the weekend. You're never on Instagram. You never like my stories. Busy man. And she told me, this was very funny. She told me, I adore you and I love the shit out of you because you're a leader. I don't have to bring my inner man out with these other dudes. Like, trying to set a definite date is a pain in the ass. Yeah. Like, I don't want to think about it. Like, you're a man that knows what I like to drink. You're a man that knows that I like to go out, that I like to eat specific foods. And you just tell me it's a surprise. Be ready. And she enjoys that. So women don't want to be the leaders.
Yeah. That sort of thing. It creates what I like to call heat, right? Which was what was that I came up with? It was what is it? Healthy, emotional, anticipation, and tension. Right.
There you go.
That's
a great acronym.
Yeah. I thought of it one day when I was on a road trip with Nurse Chick. I was like, I need a cool acronym, So it's so healthy, emotional, anticipation, and attention. So yeah, like when you tell a chick like you're going to do a mystery date, it gives them that anticipation. It creates emotional tension, but in a good way. It's very positive. And like chicks need that. Like they absolutely need that. And that all that builds attraction. So so many guys, like, they don't understand that if they just do that, right? If they just pick a place, if they just say, hey, meet me at this place at this time, if they, they have a plan in mind, like, chicks don't want to make decisions, and that immediately sets you apart from like at least 90% of the dudes out there. Most guys don't do that. Most guys are like, what do you like to do? What do you want to do?
What do you want to eat? Where do you want to go? No. Hey, you have your spots in mind, 2 to 3 spots. You make a definite date. You go and pick her up. You tell her, hey, 7:00 at this time. You get out of your car. You open the car door. One thing that I always have in my car is I always have a blanket, because women are always cold. Doesn't matter if it's 1,000,000 degrees out. It's
Nurse
always
chick is warm blooded. I'm the
is
cold
she
one. Yeah.
you're the cold. I have a blanket for you in my car, Paul.
Hey,
If you're ever
thanks,
in the
man.
bed,
Thanks.
man, I
Yeah.
got you. Keep you warm. But and women, specifically older women, older, more mature women, they appreciate that shit.
Mm-hmm.
They appreciate the fact that everything is going to be strategic. And you said something very beautiful earlier, that hey, you already have like your go-to 3 places or 4 places that you take them, and you're already a veteran. Hell, probably everybody, the owners, the bartenders already know you. I have that situation happen to me in San Francisco, because just like you, I have 3 or 4 places that on the first date I take them. On a second date, I go to a different city, I have 3 or 4 places.
Mm-hmm.
And women like that, because you are changing it up.
Yeah.
It's always different. One day we're in San Francisco, the other day we're in Walnut Creek. This past weekend we were in Napa Valley, or excuse me, Livermore Valley, drinking wine. Be dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
Be as dynamic as you can, and be the leader. And that will pay dividends in your end.
Yeah. One thing too that, and I'm sure you experienced this as well. And I know a lot of the guys in the 3% Brotherhood have experienced this, because we've all talked about it, right? But like these qualities, these traits, it's not just about getting better with women. If you apply these in every day of your, like in all areas of your life, like in business, you start being more decisive. You start taking charge. You start setting the tone and leading. Like, it helps you in all areas of your life, and you'll find that like your business starts going well. You start making more money. You start, people start respecting you more. It's because these are the kinds of qualities that like, leaders have. And
Exactly.
that's why chicks respond so well to it, because chicks want to date the leaders. They don't want to date the beta, worker bees.
Exactly. Be, you have to do your research. This is when you set up a date, don't do it the morning of. No. Take your time. You got 7, you have a week to prepare. You have between 4 to 7 days to prepare. You got the internet. You're using ChatGPT right now to answer these questions. Hey, listen, I'm going on a date. I'm in the San Francisco metropolitan area. Tell me about the sexiest bars. Go on Yelp. I used to go and scope the places out and be like, okay, is this kind of cool? You don't have to go to that extent in the beginning.
One
But
of the guys, did you see that post in the group, the 3% Brotherhood? One of the guys actually posted a screenshot from ChatGPT saying like, okay, pretend that you're Coach Corey Wayne, make some date suggestions for, whatever area. And ChatGPT was like, okay, yeah, I'll try to be Coach Corey Wayne. And then it spat out like 5 or 10 date ideas for the guy. It's like, you can totally do something like that. But I would pick a go-to. That's what I would say. Pick a go-to.
Exactly. And when you're first dating a woman, remember, you want to be her lover. You need to be like Batman. You take her out at night. Ideally, when when time passes and stuff, set up a day date. Do something fun. Do something out of the norm. I don't like to take girls to beaches near the ocean. Why? Because every single beta does that. Let's go to the beach. Let's go. No. Let's do something else. Let's go wine
gets
tasting.
everywhere. Beaches are fucking overrated.
Exactly. Exactly. And remember that women will follow you everywhere. They'll do whatever you want, but also think it through. You don't want to take a girl on your first date rock climbing because she's looking hot. She doesn't want to, get dirty. Same thing goes when you're going near a body of water where there's tons of sand. It's crazy. You want to take her where it's intimate, where it's fun, where it's dimly lit if it's the beginning. Let's say we're going to do a day date pretty much. Pick something that's fun. Let's go to a distillery. Let's do some tastings. Let's go to a wine event. Let's go to a concert, whatever it is. Things of this nature. You don't tell them what you're going to do. Hey, be ready at 7. Be ready at 12 p.m. noon on Saturday. I'm going to pick you up. What do I wear? Just look hot, love. If it's a little cold, you tell them. Just dress a little cozy, but look hot, or whatever it is. And they love that. And then when you take them, you'll see their eyes widen. I'm sure that you've seen it with Nurse Chick. When you take her and you to a new place that she's never been to, you see like her expression kind of light up the sky, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful feeling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see that a lot in Nurse Chick because bless her heart, like she lived a very sheltered life until she met me, and like I take her on all sorts of adventures and stuff that she's never experienced before. We're going to England this year. I think did I tell you about that?
No, you did not.
Yeah, we're gonna go visit Brother Lewis out there,
Nice. Very
and
nice.
yeah, so she's never left the country. She's never been outside the country. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh
so
man,
this is gonna be it's gonna be an amazing experience for her.
That's gonna be beautiful, man. It's gonna be beautiful.
So, well, it should be. I told Lewis that we have to go to a proper soccer hooligan pub. He's like, there's plenty of them.
There's a
couple.
There's a couple of those. When are you guys taking off over
there? September. It would be September.
Oh,
yeah.
It's gonna be beautiful, man. Have a blast.
Yeah. It'll be a good time. It'll be a good time. I've never actually. I've only ever been to the airport in
Heathrow. You went to Heathrow.
Yeah.
I've spent a couple nights in London, Manchester. I was in if you're into soccer or football, I almost got my ass kicked at Stamford Bridge. That's where Chelsea played because I was wearing a Manchester United shirt.
Ah, perfect. See, that's the kind of experience I'm looking for.
It was magical. It was completely drunk. People were literally throwing shit at me. I'm like in a sea of blue, and I'm the only one wearing a red shirt. I'm like, why is everybody so angry?
Yeah. I'm gonna turn my beer upside down. I'm gonna go, the Queen sucks. The Queen sucks. And see what happens. Just kidding. I'm not gonna do that. That's a terrible idea. All right, let's go to the next one here. Number 15, the 15th concept from Corey Wayne's How to Be a 3% Man, according to AI, patience, being able to wait and not rush into things. Is that a concept in the book, though?
I mean,
I'm trying to think.
I agree with the sentiment. I don't remember with you being patient, but if you can kind of look at things arbitrarily, you need to be extremely patient with women.
I know, like, one thing that I had to learn as far as like patience goes is texting. You know, texting absolutely. And phone calls is for setting dates only. It's for logistics. You know, because I used to be totally addicted to texting. I think most guys are, and a lot of women are too. You know, they just want to text all day. I used to be that beta guy that would just like literally just text a play-by-play of my entire day. You know, like, hey, just got back from the gym. Hey, just had a ham sandwich. Hey, you know, like just trying to keep like, you know, that dopamine hit coming. Exactly. Right? And and I think it was when I read Atomic Attraction, he has a story like that. He has a case study of a guy doing that, just being like not a mystery at all, just being a complete open book. And this chick was like, you know, he was texting her and she would sort of get back to him whenever. You know, it wasn't like she was rude to him, but there was two guys that asked for her number. Right.
And then one disappears, and then the other one's like,
one guy's like gone for a week, and this one guy, Brad or whatever, just keeps texting the shit out of her, like, hey, I just took a shower, like, hey, I just, you know, brushed my teeth, whatever, like all day long, play by play of his life. He set a date with her, she agreed to it, and then when the other guy shows up like on a Friday, and he's like, hey, yeah, I've been incognito. I just got back from business. Hey, you want to get together like tomorrow night?
Blows the other guy off.
Yeah, she blew the other guy off because the guy was a sure thing. She's like, I can get with that guy anytime. This guy, I need to lock down now. And so like learning that, like, oh geez, just reading that guy, it's so cringy. Listen to the story of the guy texting his play-by-play. I was like, Jesus Christ, that was me. That was me.
that was all of us. That was all of us, Paul. That's it's natural. I'll tell you a technique that I use. I have all my texting, like all messages, I have them silenced on my phone. Mm-hmm. So whenever you text me, it doesn't go off. I don't get a notification. Yeah. Because, you know, I'm busy. And, you know, at the end of the day, I usually in the morning when I wake up, I've made a point that I don't check social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I don't check it. I'll usually check it around my first break, which is around 10 o'clock. I won't open my text messages. Mind you this. mind you this, I'm having open text messages. And then when I have lunch around 12 or 1, that's when I'll check my text messages.
Mm.
You know,
Okay.
if it's an emergency, people know to call me. Don't text me. If somebody's dying or whatever it is, give me a call directly. So, and you know, it's very freeing. It's very liberating. And oftentimes you're surprised that when you like look at your text, holy shit, I have 6 or 7 text messages. And that's when the mystery begins. Well, what took you so long? I'm busy. What were you doing? I've been waiting for your text. And that they like that.
Yeah.
They like that.
That creates more of that heat.
Exactly.
That anticipation and intention, like that, them like sending a text and hoping like you'll get back to them right away. Them just thinking about like, when's he going to text me back?
Exactly.
That anticipation. It's and really, I mean, like what you're really doing though, like a lot of guys, you know, I complain about that stuff. It's like, I don't want to manipulate people. It's not about manipulating people. It's about breaking your addiction to texting.
Exactly.
You know, it's a bad habit.
Exactly. And fellas, just to be clear, women use these techniques. Women, you know, their phone is glued to it's an extension of their body. Even when they go and they take a shit, they're always on their phone.
Women don't do that. Women don't shit, dude.
That's right. That's right.
Everybody knows that.
No, I'm sorry.
They're powdering their nose. Yeah.
Don't be a misogynist. That's right. Women don't shit. They're like the eternal leader in North Korea, Kim Jong-un. Remember that?
Yeah.
People think that he doesn't go to the bathroom.
You trying to say my man don't pee and poop? Yeah.
Right. So what I'm saying is this: is it a technique of manipulation? No, it's not manipulation. Is you breaking and being liberated? Because remember, women do that. They don't admit it, but I've seen it. I've seen it. I'm surrounded by a few women at my work.
Yeah.
At the clinic where I am, it says, and I've seen them, their phones beeping, ding, 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 multiple times, and I've heard them. I'm just ignoring him. I'm just going to wait to see how long it takes him to chew his arm off before I respond. And when they respond, it's usually they just like your text messages, the 7 text messages that you've sent in a 20-minute span, they just like it. And it just grows and grows. But when you're kind of able to kind of break that, it's liberating and nothing can hurt you.
It sets you apart too from
the
other guys out there, because all the other guys out there are blowing their phone up.
Exactly. Try it out, fellas. Silence your text messages, notifications for a week. A challenge for 5 days, and look how liberating it is, and you'll see the difference.
Yeah. The way I broke my addiction to that was playing mirror game, you know, and then I trained myself to, instead of replying right away, reaching for the timer app. Yep. And I'd be like, I'm going to reply in 15 minutes, or I'm going to reply in an hour, you know. But the thing about mirror game is it gives you specific parameters, right? It's like if it took her 30 minutes.
Take 45, take an hour.
Take 33 minutes, or you know, whatever. Like you want to, you know, sort of whatever she did to you, and then a little bit more.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm glad you brought that up, because it's funny, and I'm sure you've seen this before. When you do mirror game, remember, you need to match and mirror her emotions and her action towards you.
Yeah.
You'll notice that she'll text you within 5 minutes. If you take 7 minutes, you text her, she'll immediately text you back.
Yep.
Then she takes longer. You double that time period. Let's say she texted you after 10 minutes. You take 30 minutes. She'll respond immediately. Go back and look at the trail of text and the time, and you'll see that the longer you take, the quicker she'll respond to you, because she responds positively to that. It's crazy. It's really crazy.
It is. Yeah. You'll notice that you can sort of train them to reply quicker.
Paul, don't say that. You're acting like a misogynist right now. They're not dogs,
right.
Remember.
Another thing, like in the opposite direction though, like if you have a chick that is like way too needy with texting, and she texts you too damn much, and you are trying to break your addiction to this texting, you want to space it out.
You have to.
If you just like wait, you know, she replies like in 3 minutes, like you wait 30 minutes to reply.
Yes.
You know, and if she just like, eventually she'll stop texting you so much, and she'll sort of like,
she'll understand.
she'll start understanding that you're a busy guy, you know.
You might receive a little bit of backlash. I've realized that only insecure women, like women, will do that, and it's very particular because when you see it happening, you know, they'll start going like, but what's going on? What's happening? Like, why aren't you doing it? That's a shit test.
Mm-hmm.
You have to tell them, honey, I'm busy right now. I'm seeing you on Friday. We can talk about this when I see you on Friday at 7:00.
Yeah.
Good to hear from you. The president's calling. I got to take this. And you go.
Mm-hmm.
And you go. Because again, women will do that to us and they will make us feel uncomfortable. Do you think women care that we've waited 2 or 3 days to hear back from them? No. And we can't say shit. And we can't say shit, right? Because then we're bitches. We got small dick and whatever it is.
Yeah. We're the ones.
Yeah, exactly. But when you kind of serve them kind of like a little bit, like a little dose of their own medicine, not all of them, but I've encountered women that they get pissed about that.
Mm-hmm.
That is a method that they'll use to try and get you to kind of fall into that trap of arguing with them. No. They start getting, why didn't you call me? Why didn't you text me? Baby, I'm saving the world.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saving the world. I can't talk to you right now. Are you mad? Are we fighting it? Love, you know what? I'll make it up to you when I see you on Friday. That's it. Yeah. You smile, you hang up. You know what? Can't wait for another text from you. That's it. And that's all you do. And that's all you do, man. So
yeah, good stuff. Speaking of which, number 16, concept from Corey Wayne's How to Be a 3% Man According to AI. Emotional intelligence, understanding one's own emotions and those of others. I don't know that he even used the word emotional intelligence in the book. I think this is bullshit that AI is throwing out there.
Yeah, I don't even think he mentions emotional intelligence throughout the chapter.
Yeah. I don't think so. I think this is bullshit.
can't believe that
because he talks about and I've done videos about this too, right? Like women want guys to be more what is it? Not vulnerable, but God, what's another term that women throw out there about like emotionally available? That's it. We want guys to be emotionally available. No, like actually Corey teaches that it's been scientifically proven that women are more attracted to men whose feelings are unclear.
Of course.
You know?
Of course.
So maybe understanding that is emotional intelligence. Maybe.
I think, and no, absolutely, you have a valid point. I think with emotional intelligence, one thing that sticks out to me is that you need to learn how to be imperturbable. What does it mean? Women will do shit to test you, to see what they kind of can get away with. You're having a good time, everything's good, you banged on the first night, you're supposed to see her for a second date, and then she cancels last minute. Mm-hmm. That pisses a lot of people off. And I've seen men lose their shit over that.
Yeah.
You need to control yourself. When she says something that's going to make you jealous because you're territorial or whatever it is. Stoicism.
Yeah. He calls it staying centered.
Exactly. You stayed center, you're stoic, whatever it is. Nothing bothers you. Well, I saw a guy that gave me his number, asked me for my number. Honey, you know what? That's a compliment to me. I actually feel bad because, you'll never get to experience the love that I have with you. Shit of that nature. And when something pisses you off, because I damn guarantee it that it will, because, that's the proclivity of these beautiful women that we're surrounded by. You just need to kind of learn to, number one, never fall into that trap. Be always charming. Don't be a dick, even if they piss you off, because if you act mean towards them, you're giving them ammunition towards you. Don't do that. Because girls don't play fair. And number three, it's easier to just kind of brush it off. Oh, well, if you don't go out with me, I'm going to see another guy. Wonderful. And he can keep you company when I'm not there. Let me know when you're free to get together. Love to see you again. Gotta go. The president's calling me again. Things of this nature. The MILF, again, when I left to Narnia, she canceled last minute. She was asking me, where were we going to go that night? You know what I told her? I'm like, honey, I can't tell you because, you missed out on that. And that ship has already sailed. In that place, you're never going to get to discover it because you missed out on it. Was a one night only thing.
Yeah.
She's laughing, smirking. Later that night, we were drinking. She tells me, "Are you really never going to take me to that place we're supposed to?" She doesn't even know what we were going to do. And
Right.
it's
Yeah.
what's driving her crazy. So that's what you have to act like that.
Yeah. Emotional anticipation and tension. Yeah.
Exactly. Flip it. When they come towards you, you flip it on its side and then you give it back to them. And that drives them crazy because they cannot get under your skin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. All right. Number 17, understanding women, recognizing the differences between men and women in terms of communication, emotions, and behavior. That is 100%. That's probably the name of the game of the book, right? Because the whole idea of 3% is only 3% of the world's population of men understand women. You know, so you have to understand their behavior, their emotions, how they communicate.
Yeah, no, I mean it's imperative. It's imperative. I mean, you know, they're the most beautiful creatures. They need to be protected, but at the same time, you know, women grow with a lot of privileges, that us as men don't have, specifically in the Western world, specifically here in this country. And you will notice, this is very funny, that you know, women have freedoms, financial, educational, sexual, you name it. But there's some of the most unhappiest group of people. They have all the access, and a lot of them are complaining.
Yeah.
So when you kind of learn to understand where they're coming from, it's not that you're siding with them. It's not that but you know what to expect. All women are going to test you. All women are going to ask you your stance on different things, and they want you to disagree with them to try and pick a fight. You need to know that when she's acting distant, instead of you trying to close the proximity, you need to let them be. When they're pissed about something, walk away. Give them space. And when you learn that dynamic, it sets you have no competition because the other men. And again, when you first read the book, when I was reading the book, I'm like, shit, am I really? No, I can't be the only fucking guy that knows this. It's a truth. Men will become unglued because they don't know these techniques. And that's where shit goes sideways.
Yeah, a lot of these techniques are so counterintuitive too. Because like whenever I put out like my TikToks, you know, my reels or whatever, inevitably, like especially on some of this stuff, right, where you know, like some of these concepts that just don't come naturally, like you shouldn't be texting her all the fucking time, right? For one, like guys are like, well, no, you have to text her because she's going to forget about you if you don't. Like, no, they don't. Like, actually, chicks have pretty good memories. Amazing enough. And if you spark their emotions enough, like they can't stop thinking about you. So, yeah, you know, like it blows my mind. I mean, it's when I was learning this stuff, like I was in that same position though, right? Like I was like, I cannot believe like this goes against everything I've ever learned. But at the same time, I was like, well, whatever I'm doing now isn't working for me. I got to try it.
Of course.
And so I test this out, and then I'm like, holy shit.
Well, like, I've been fucking up. I've been fucking up forever.
Yeah. I can't believe I used to do it like that. Oh my God. You know?
Yes. And you said it, you know, we are go-getters. We want to fix the problem. If somebody, you know, is we fall under the illusion of action. You know, the illusion of action. I have to say something or send her a text that's going to make her fall in love. No. The best stance, Coach Benny talks about this. You talked about this. Everybody, the best thing to do is nothing at all. Nothing at all. And just give them space. And it's in the silence. It's in their loneliness and their solitude that they start wondering, what is he doing? Why hasn't he called? Mind you, they'll have an army of minions that are texting them, calling them 3 times a day, 4 times a day. Good morning, princess. What are you doing? You're the only guy that will stand apart and separate from these men by not doing anything. And it's crazy because you've seen it. You have no competition because these guys will fuck it up. They'll just fuck it up.
Yeah. I don't know if I told you about this. I probably did. maybe even last week when we were recording the last episode. But yeah, Nurse Chick and I, we went out for drinks one night and we got in the conversation. We've been together for 2 years now. We never talked about what it was like on the dating circuit, right? Yeah, like each other's experiences. And she was just like very honest about it. She's like, I found myself like having to set the dates myself. Like, hey, are we ever going to meet up? And
I remember, yes, you did mention that. You did
yeah,
mention that through the dating apps.
And it's like, and she said like literally everyone that she met was like that. You know, they asked her what she wanted to do. She had to pick the place. She had to come up with all this stuff. And when I was just like, boom, 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 like, okay, meet me here. We're going to do this. This is what we're going to do. She even tried, I haven't mentioned this. I don't know if I mentioned this in a while, but she tried to change the venue at one point too. Like, so we were going to meet up for coffee and she was like, do you want to instead maybe meet over at the park? And, you know, cause whatever, it was like COVID restrictions. And I was like, one thing that he teaches us in the book is that's shit test, you know, don't change the plans. Don't let her change the plans on you. You're falling into her frame. And I said, no, we're going to keep our original plans.
I'll see you here at this time for coffee.
Yeah. And she was just like, oh, okay. Yes. You know, like it, and we did it, had a great time. And she was just like, yeah, you're decisive. You know, you went for a kiss, you know, like all the stuff that we're supposed to do. And she was just like, she's like, it blew my mind because all these other guys are so, you know, wishy-washy, deferring to whatever, she's trying to please her. She had a guy come to the date with his mother. And he's like, oh, I want you to meet my mom. Like,
it's a family affair. It's a family affair. That's beautiful.
Oh, I guess this guy, his mom, like, you know, found out that her little baby boy was going to have a date and took him shopping and got him an all new wardrobe and everything. And she was just like, what the fuck? And
poor
she was
soul,
like, oh, you know what? I got an emergency here. I got to go. And she fucking bailed on him because, I mean, that's some creepy, like weird, you know, shit.
Poor soul. I feel bad for the guy because remember, poor son of a bitch doesn't even know what hit him. And, you know, he like, gentlemen, don't ever bring, it's you and the girl. Don't bring anybody, specifically from your extended family. Please don't do that. Yeah. That is
especially
the sure
your
way
mom.
to live. Jesus, man.
Oh my God. Like, so like women, it's funny. I'll have women occasionally online talk about how like they want to know that you have a good relationship with your mom, but at the same time, they don't want a mama's boy, you know? They don't want a guy that they, you know, they want a guy that's cut the cord. You know what I mean?
Of course. And you know, I'm Latino. I'm like this with my parents. I'm dropping you. My apologies. I'm dropping you. We have to go.
That hurt.
I
dude.
know.
That,
you see
that
that?
hurt that time.
Don't you piss me off. Don't you piss me off, Paul. My apologies for that. But look, I'm Latino. I'm like this with my parents, and you know, I have a very close relationship with them. It's great. When they ask me, I tell them. But you know, I don't involve them in my sentimental feelings in the beginning. Sure, maybe later down the road when this person has earned it, maybe we can have that conversation. But yeah, no, you don't want to do that. You have to be decisive. You set a time for her and you to kind of get together, learn about each other, have a good time. Don't bring your mother. Don't bring your mother. Don't bring your mother.
Don't fucking
don't bring your mother. Don't bring your mother.
That's number 18. Don't bring your mother. Number 18 is sexual attraction, the physical and emotional attraction that a man can generate in a woman. Now, he talks about like, this makes me think of the scale. He talks about the scale, like the attraction scale. Always have to maintain, like, monitor her attraction level to you, right? And you know, anything below a 5 is like you're wasting your time. And usually when you meet a chick, like, you know, cold approach or on a dating app, like you're in the 5 to 6 range, and then from there, you're increasing that attraction level from there. I think that is accurate.
Of course. I mean, you know, there are with the scale, you when you learn to read women, I think that's also part of what we were talking earlier about, you know, learning women's lingo, how they act, kind of anticipate their every move. You will be able to pick up which women dig you and which women don't dig you.
Yeah.
We go towards the one that like us. Eventually, you're going to start spending time with them. You might slip up. You're going to see subtle cues that you need to pick up. And, if the attraction on the scale begins to drop, what do? Space.
Mm-hmm.
Space. If you catch yourself going out with her too many times, cancel on her the following weekend. I'm busy. Go do something with your family. Go do something with your friends, or just go do something by yourself, but give her space. And that's how you build the anticipation. That's how you build attraction. If it fails or if it's dropping, that's how you keep it in mind. And again, this comes with practice. This comes with repetition. You told me, I told you earlier, hey, this chick told me she loved me. You told me, has it been about like the 18th date or whatever it was? I'm like,
7th or 8th date on average.
I'm like, yes, it has. It's been about 2.5 months, 3 months, which is what the book says.
Mm-hmm.
Paul knows this. Paul lives this. I learned this, and you guys can get there too. Just, stick to it, remain in your center. Don't get freaked out. Don't get pussy whipped, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, one thing that he talked about giving space, he talks about it somewhere in the book about how if like typically when you start out, right, you're seeing her once a week. And then he's like, if anything like starts slipping up, like he's like, go back to once a week, like that's how you give her the space.
Of course.
Number 19, relationship management, the ability to manage and maintain a healthy and fulfilling relationship. That's near the end of the book, but yeah, that's one of the things I love about Corey's book is that it's one of the only dating like books out there that doesn't just teach you how to like meet women and then go on dates. It teaches you how to meet women, go on dates, spin plates, find the right plate, and then how to foster that relationship.
How to keep that relation. You just celebrated 2 years with your significant other.
Mm-hmm.
How is your relationship? I wanted to ask you.
It's outstanding. It's effortless. We've been together for 2 years, haven't had any fights at all.
I think that's beautiful.
I've never had a relationship like that. I've dated chicks where, within the first like month, the first 2 months, we're having a spat about something, And
it's insufferable. It's insufferable. It's painful. Yeah. It sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is just Nurse Chick is just so easygoing. She's super chill. There's been things where like, I don't necessarily like what she's done, and it's not like it, it pisses me off. It's just like for instance, maybe she put the dishes in the wrong cupboard or something. I don't look at it like I'm pissed off about it. I look at it like, well, she just didn't know. So how is she supposed to know if I don't tell her? So like, hey, babe, can you make sure the plates go in here? Like, this is where I like to keep the plates. She's just like, yeah, no problem.
No problem. And you move on with your day and you keep loving each other and there's no drama. Isn't that beautiful?
It's great. Yeah. Yeah. And she's just like, she's super relaxed. She's at least a level 4 crazy. I mean, because if not, she would.
It's a dude. That's a dude. At least level 4.
Yeah, I mean, she's like, but her craziness is very low. She's very, she's always excited to come hang out. It's never a chore. It's never like I have to convince her to hang out with me. So yeah, it's actually it's probably the easiest relationship I've been in my entire life.
How long did it take you to find that relationship, Paul?
It took me, let's see here. We started dating in 2021, about 2 years. About 2 years. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
I think that's pretty typical. Like guys, I think even in the book it says like it takes about like 2 or 3 years before you find like a girl that really like you just really click with.
Exactly. I mean, remember that, but this was through, it took you to go through your fair share of battles, of just nasty people, of people you didn't mesh with.
Yep.
Learning this, like it's the back of your goddamn hand, literally.
Spinning like, man, it was like spinning plates, having plates fall off, having all my plates fall off,
Of course.
finding myself like, oh shit, like I have no plates again. Like I got to start all over. I get build up that roster again. Just constantly dealing with flaky women, maybe even like finding a plate that I thought would work out good. And then like we date for a couple months and it's like, this is not working out.
Yeah.
And then go back to spin plates. And yeah, it's a fucking grind, you know, and a lot of guys hate it, but I just really just like embrace the whole process and trust in the whole process the whole time, you know? And I think that's what a lot of guys just get frustrated with that, you know?
Exactly. It's a process. I know that, you know, as men, a lot of us want like the quick pill or like the quick fix, I should say. Nothing in life is like that. Nothing in life, whether
nothing
professional.
worthwhile.
Yeah, exactly. Rome was not built in a day. And what do you have to do? I mean, become familiar with rejection, welcome rejection, because shit, I've been told more times no than yes in my life across my love life, my professional life, my education. It's been more no's than yeses.
Sure.
And when you get through the no's, you're eventually going to get to the yeses. And it's so liberating. With this chick, it's easy. It's fun. It's effortless. After this podcast, she's waiting for me to have dinner with her. She's cooking me dinner tonight. I leave to Mexico City in 2 days. She's telling me, I don't know what I'm gonna do without you the next 5 days. I'm like, baby, just send me a smoke signal or carrier pigeon. We'll find a way to stay in contact. Yeah. But gentlemen, you guys can have this. Stick to your plan and push through, man. Persevere.
Yeah. So when it comes to relationship management, a couple of concepts that I learned in the book that I try to apply is, you know, basically like if she's really having a problem, which like Nurse Chick, like never really had, I've never had to do this with her. I have to do this with my daughter though. But when my daughter's pissed off, I used to just get pissed off with her, right? Like, why are you yelling at me? Like, just right. Instead, I try to like take a step back and go, honey, what's really bothering you? I know you're mad at your brother for like not putting his underwear away, but that's not what's eating at you. What's really eating at you? Yeah. And then getting to the bottom of what's actually eating at her, not trying to solve the problem, but you know, just saying, oh, and just listening to her. Just listening and saying, oh, and how does that make you feel? Oh, that's terrible. Like I would be frustrated with that as well. You know, like
I understand where you're coming from, and you are so amazing for talking to me and letting. Yeah, exactly.
Which is funny because that all comes from Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. It's like, don't solve the problem. She just wants you to listen. And then what was the other thing that I learned? Don't bring your problems to your woman.
No.
You know, and if you really have to, right? Like if she's really just digging at you, like, tell me about your day. I want to know about it. And you have like just had a shitty ass day and you're like, you can either, you got to put a positive spin on it. Right. So I think I dropped a text conversation with Nurse Chick in the Brotherhood a couple days ago. And it was just like, it was this last weekend, my day job that shall not be named. We did a network cutover from one cloud service to another. And I was up until 3 a.m. doing that. I had to get up at 6 a.m. to get on a call, just you know, like a war room call to make sure that there was no issues with clients and stuff like that. Exhausted. And so Nurse Chick's like, you know, tell me about your day. So I was like, well, I did this. I was up till 3, got up at 2 or whatever. And I was like, but I'll tell you what, I love doing this way more than I like doing the clerical spreadsheet, you know.
That's right.
Secretary bullshit or whatever. like I enjoy this much better than that.
You put a positive spin.
And she goes, I love how you just like always look at things from the bright side. And I'm like, you know, and I was like, I'm going to look at the bright side of them titties later. And anyway.
If you guys are wondering, Paul is a mercenary that doubles as a secret agent for the CIA. So we can't talk about his day job.
Can't talk about the day job.
That's right.
but yeah, she likes that. Like I don't bring her the problems. If I do have a problem that like I want to bounce it around somebody, I bring it to the brotherhood. I don't bring it to her, or I bring it to like, maybe individual guys in the brotherhood, maybe Luke or something. Like I'll send him a message, or I'll send like Nathan or you a message or something. I've never brought you any of my bullshit, but
let me know. Listen, I'm a great listener. It's funny you say that, because women are emotional creatures, and they oftentimes think that, well, if I get to talk to him about my problems, he should do the same.
Yeah.
He should do the same. And oftentimes you'll fall into like that trap of comfort, like, oh, you know what? Yeah, it is time. If you do it once, okay, maybe. You do it again, you do it again, you do it again. Eventually, before I read this, when I was still actually reading it in the beginning, I fell into this trap, and I had two girls tell me, I'm not your therapist. And I'm like, holy shit. Now, whenever something's fucking eating at me, I keep my fucking mouth shut. I'll call my father. I'll reach out to you. I'll reach out to Nate. I'll reach out to my best buddies.
Yeah.
Don't do that, because, again, women will tell you, hey, it's okay.
Yeah.
But they don't know what they respond to.
I think women want to care. They think that they care, but they
don't have the capacity. They don't have the capacity.
Their monkey brain will not let them care about your problems. They want, like, they think it's like, you're the man, you have your feet on the ground,
figure that shit out.
You handle your shit. Yeah. And if you just like can't emotionally handle your shit, you're acting like a woman.
Exactly.
They don't want to date women.
The only chick that you can come to with your problems, and she will never, is your mother.
Yeah.
That's it.
Don't bring her on a date.
That's right. Don't bring her on a date. Keep her out of your problems. But if you need to talk to a woman that will suffer with you, that will understand, that will cry sincere tears, and you can talk to her and repeat that problem 1,000 times, is your mother, not your wife, not your girlfriend, especially not the chick that you're casually banging.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting.
I think it's been a while since I've read it. I've only ever read it once. Like I've read Corey's book 21 times now. But I've only read Rollo's book once, Rational Male, the first one. And I believe in that book, and if you guys, one of you guys that have read it 100 times, like, because there's guys like that out there, comment below. But I believe he says in that book that, women are they're just naturally solipsistic, and even the only woman that actually really cares about your problems is your mom.
Is your mother.
Because through her solipsism, she sees you as an extension of herself.
Of course.
That's the only reason why, like, that's the exception to the rule.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really crazy, because, the husband can't do that with his wife, because the wife will be like, what the fuck?
Right.
But she will understand that from her child. Why? Because she literally, you cooked inside of her like a cookie or whatever for 9 months. Of course she loves you.
Yeah.
Of course she loves you. But overall, listen, whenever you have a problem, you need to remain centered. You need to remain imperturbable. If something is eating at you, find somebody else, find something that will help you kind of channel that anger or that frustration or that sadness, and just keep it to yourself. And when they come to you, because again, my life is not rainbows and fucking butterflies and unicorns. No. Believe me, I've had really fucking tough shit. But when I go see her, it's charming Bond. It's Batman here to make you laugh, and let's go for a drink and tell me about your day. And this made you, and this frustrated you because, okay, how do you feel now? She told me, I love you because not only do you surprise me and you're a man, but because you're a great listener. Sometimes they'll go on fucking rants like I'm doing right now. Sometimes they'll go on rants, and there's days that I'm like, holy shit, I can't fucking listen to this. I will kind of tune her out, focus on some other shit, nod, and just repeat things back to her. Oh, okay. Kind of get the gist of it. Problem solved.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
One thing that Corey talks about in the book is women, like, they remember everything, and they remember everything they told you. And he's like, you at least need to get the gist of what she said down.
Exactly.
You can't tune her out completely. You have to get the gist down, because she will test you later. I used to be the worst listener, and like, I used to sort of just nod my head and go, and how'd that make you feel? And then think about my, what t-shirt I was gonna wear the next day or something. And then both my ex-wife and red pill chick used to be like, what did I say?
Fuck, god damn
it would be like, I don't know.
Just fail that pop quiz, huh?
That was something I used to just struggle with, Luckily, Nurse Chick doesn't say anything, so it's just easy,
That's beautiful.
She's just quiet all the time.
We need more women like her. She's just quiet
just shut the fuck up. Yeah, just kidding. She could talk more. Like, I'd be okay with it. She
speaks when spoken to. No.
She's just not a very talkative person. It's kind of interesting. It's hard to do the 80-20 thing with the conversation with her, because she just doesn't talk. So it's just like, okay, well, I guess I'll shut the fuck up too then, I guess.
There you go.
All right, last one here, and then we'll wrap up.
Let's do it, brother.
Number 20, continuous learning, the commitment to constantly learn and grow in all aspects of life.
Yeah.
I think he does. Yeah, he does talk about this.
Yeah, I mean,
and he talks about. You go ahead.
Thank you, sir. He tells you got to read this fucking thing 20 times for a reason. That's for a reason. And again, if you go to school, there's chapters, there's exams, there's midterms, there's finals, and all those tests throughout your life will cover the same bullshit that you saw from day one up until you saw the very last day. Why? Because you need to get the information down pat, not only for your professional growth, but as a personal human being. When you go to the gym, you just don't go there once and lift weights and you look like Schwarzenegger. It's years of repetition of doing the same goddamn exercise. And what do? You do progressive overload. You put more and more and more and more and more, and you grow. What do you have to do? Read books. Stop watching TV. Pick up a fucking book and read it. And then when you're done with it, pick up another one. And if you like the one you read before, go back and reread it again. That's how you do it in life, brother.
Yeah. Yeah. He talks about how he basically did the 10 to 15 time thing with a number of books. Like, that's what got him to where he was at, and I've done the same thing. I've read, Atomic Attraction like a dozen times, and Dr. Glover's book a dozen times. I've read Dale Carnegie's, How to Win Friends and Influence People a couple times. I have like a multi-read list. There's ones that I've read and I'm like, oh, those are good. They're like one and done,
Yeah.
But because a lot of like, if I sort of like am getting away from reading other people's like dating books, because I think like the last one I read that was outside of my holy trinity was Mark Manson's Models. People were like, oh, you should read that one. I read it. I'm like, well, a lot of these concepts are the fucking same, like they're all the same. Like there's the reason why I like my holy trinity is because they're very similar, but certain books like Corey's book is missing certain pieces that this book covers better.
Correct.
Or this guy covers it slightly different and his method worked better for me. So that's the way I liked it. Find your own holy trinity, but yeah, like, I sort of at the point where I'm like, I don't need to read any more books. I'll just keep reading the same ones, because the concepts are the same,
Exactly. I've found out that when you go back and you read and you reread a book, I used to have the sentiment that it's like, oh, it's like watching the same fucking movie every. No. You go back and it's like you're reading that book for the first time because you find so much new information. That I've read that book a lot across 15 years, literally 15 years. Every single time that I go back, and I've told you this before, I make it a point at least every 4 to 5 months, just pick it up again. I can finish that book in 5 days, 4 or 5 days, easy. It's an easy read. It's fantastic. And it's just sharpening the tool. It's just sharpening the blade. That's all it is.
Yeah. Yeah. I sort of like to tell guys at least revisit it once a year, just once a year, you know. But the work never stops, and that's sort of what it comes down to: the continuous learning, continuously working on this stuff. It never stops, and if you do stop working on it, like, you'll fall back on old habits. Like, I've seen it so many times. We've talked about that. All right, brother.
Thank you, sir.
That's it, man. We got through all of them. Took 2 episodes, but we got through all 20 of these. I think AI was pretty spot on. Actually, because this was so spot on, at the time of this recording, my Friday, not this Friday's, but at the time of this recording, I'm doing an episode on 30 Reasons Why Women Have Sex. That's from David Buss's book, Why Women Have Sex. Asked AI, give me 30 reasons from that book. And that's what I'm doing the live stream on. It's like actually makes for pretty fun content to go through it all. So
that's crazy.
Thank you, ChatGPT.
see, it's eventually gonna enslave us, but it's not so bad in the beginning, right?
It's not so bad.
It's not too crazy. Thank you for having me, sir. It's always a pleasure, man. Thank you. It's always insightful. Yeah. You're a stud. And listen to this fucking guy. Listen to his podcast. This man knows the way. This man knows what he's talking about. If you have any questions, reach out to him, because he knows. He's been through it all. You guys need to be persistent. Focus on yourself. Don't let your emotions overrule you or your fears, and you'll become the top G, and you will have no competition, man.
Yeah, man. I'm only 20 years old. It's like, women that give me all this stuff. Yeah, man. Where can people find you online, man?
Mr. Juicy J at IG. I live in the shadows, but send me a friend request. I'll accept you if you guys need some tips and tricks. I'm only going to charge you a smile. Remember, we were all once there. We had no idea how to talk to women, how to, be happy. And if anybody needs any form of help, somebody to listen to, just let me know on Facebook, Jacob Lofsner. And if you're ever in the San Francisco Bay Area, send me a message. Love to buy a beer and get to know more about you and your story.
There you go. Sounds good. I'll link to your Instagram, and then on Facebook, you guys can find him on the 3% Brotherhood, but you have to read the book.
That's right.
To read the book. All right, man. I'll let you get back with what are you calling her? MILF? The MILF?
The Colombian MILF. But Paul, please listen to me. Okay, you never listen to me. It's the Colombian MILF.
Colombian MILF. So I'll let you have dinner with the Colombian MILF, brother. Thanks so much.
Thank you, sir.
Jacob, thanks again for joining me, man. 2 weeks in a row, brother. 2 weeks in a row. We knocked this out. We knocked out that list, man. It's always fun talking to you, dude. You got some really good insights. You're always welcome back, man. You're always welcome back. You're a fun guy to talk to. I think a lot of people get a lot of, good tidbits from your viewpoint as well. I get a lot of good feedback from your stuff, man. So hopefully you can come back again soon. That's all I got for this episode, guys. Be sure to tune in Wednesday for the live stream. I don't know what I'm going to do it on yet, but it's going to be good. It's going to be good. I like interjecting, with you guys, or I guess conversing with you guys in the live. That really makes my Wednesday and Friday mornings starts my day off right. You know what I mean? All right. If you guys haven't done so already, please like, subscribe, hit those notifications. Drop a comment. If you guys haven't done so already, drop a comment. Any comment will do. Your favorite emoji, all that kind of stuff boosts us in the algorithm. Follow me on social media. The links are in the description. Get on the email list, list.comeonmanpod.com. I will send you some free stickers for your troubles. And if you like those designs, they're also available as hats and hoodies and coffee mugs, all that kind of stuff at merch.comeonmanpod.com. If you guys haven't checked it out yet, check out the Practical Law of Attraction course, loa.comeonmanpod.com. It's a mindset course. And once you get your mind right, everything else falls into place. With this, all your dreams can come true, right? Because if you get hyper focused on something, if you get hyper focused on the things you want in life, you tend to attract it. It's miraculous, but it's not magic. All right. It's the reticular activating system and other stuff, which I get into in the course. So if you're curious at all, check out that course. And then finally, get on the Patreon, patreon.com/comeonmanpod. we are having our first happy hour hangout on the 22nd here, which I believe at the time of this episode is this Thursday. So if you guys want to join us, have some drinks, have some beers, smoke some cigars, talk about man stuff, get on the Patreon now. It's only $10 if you join it at level 1. Then if you want any kind of coaching, join tiers 2 or tiers 3, depending on your needs. That's all I got this week, guys, or I should say this episode, guys. So we'll see you guys on Wednesday.
This has been the Come On Man podcast. New full episodes served hot every Monday morning on your favorite podcast platform of choice. So subscribe now. Follow Paul on social media. The links are in the description. Now, go out and get it.